Hey, good morning, guys. It's Neva Nicole with the podcast Navigating Neva. And I wanted to make this video because this incident popped up on my news feed yesterday and I saw the footage and I said, but then I didn't think much of it. And then in my inbox, I got a message from somebody. And then I realized when I went back to look at the video, that the video she shared with me was just bits and pieces of what I had seen. So let's look at the video and let's talk about it, okay? So just for the record, this is a 6-year-old little boy. They're at a pool in Florida, and here we go. All right, so I'm going to pause it. This little boy is in the deep end. He's not alone. He has a person with him. Person jumps on the raft. The raft is in the deep end. Now, I know this is crazy, but I always tell people stairs are in the shallow end, ladders in the deep end, and that's true, but it's not always true. So on the pool right here, we should have markers telling you the depth. This also looks like an autofill for water. So usually that comes to the deep end, but not always. So we're going to continue. So child's on the raft. He falls off. He is struggling at the top. Child's on the raft, falls off. Shoes on the raft. He's reaching out for help. Trying to swim. So the video that I saw showed it was a little bit different. This is choppy and keeps breaking up, and I can't find the original video that I saw. But in the original video, this man reaches out with this tube for this child to grab hold of the tube, which is great. Except what we're not realizing is that when we're in a state of fear and panic and we're terrified, that's a lot of an ask. Like yesterday, I was talking to the kids and we were talking about a little boy that jumped into the deep end. And when the little boy jumped into the deep end, he forgot where the ladder was. This happens, and you're panicked and you're afraid, and all you want to do is be not where you are. You're just not thinking logically. So this man, as I teach all the kids, we reach or throw, and this guy tried to reach the raft, or we throw something to them, but we don't go. So that's exactly what's happening here. This man is not putting himself in danger. If he were to go, he would be in trouble now, and then we'd have two victims. So right now we just have one, and he is trying to give aid. He is also called for help. But here's our time segment. So that's what's important in this video. Here comes the guy that heard the screams for help. This guy can swim. This guy puts himself in the water and pulls the child out by himself with one arm. All right, so if you don't know, we're going to go to another video real quick, and I'm going to tell you the all right, so there's two really important things here that we're going to look at. The American Red Cross has a drowning prevention and a drowning survival. So step one would be we learn to swim. If this child could swim, he wouldn't be in the situation in the deep end. You provide close and consistent attention to your child in the water. That was happening. The guy was right there watching him. You want to swim near a lifeguarded area. There was no lifeguard in this area. If you're an inexperienced swimmer, you want to wear a life jacket. If he had a life jacket on, he could have been calm, cool, and collected and not panicked in this situation. And there was a pool fence. If you notice, the guy that came to provide care came through the pool fence. But what we're going to look at is we're going to look at drowning survival. So once the drowning happens, we want to talk about how we stop it. So this is very similar to the cardiac chain of survival, except we're talking about drowning. So you have to recognize that someone is in danger, and we did. The buddy, the partner, the person that was there recognized right away, and he screamed for help. But he could not remove the person from the water because right here it says without putting yourself in danger. He could not do that, but the guy that came did. Then we're going to call 911. But while that's happening, we're going to begin rescue breathing and CPR. So you have to learn CPR. Now, I know CPR classes are expensive, and I get that. So I'm not telling you that you need to go pay for a CPR class. But what I am going to tell you is that the American Heart Association has CPR and first aid anywhere training. That is really expensive. That is not what I was trying to show you. But they do. They have courses, CPR, first aid, CPR anytime. So you can just come here and you can just buy this. So you're going to click on this. This is $45. Yes, that's more than the $19.99 one online, but you're getting these resources. So you're going to get a doll, you're going to get a book, you're going to get an AED, all of this, and you're going to teach yourself. If you want to learn how to do infant CPR, you get this, you add to cart, you're good to go. Now you're trained. Are you certified? No, but we didn't say we wanted you to get certified. We said we wanted you to learn CPR. Learning CPR and holding a card are two separate things. So we want you to learn CPR and first aid and how to use an AED. And then the child would live. And in this video, I'm pretty sure the child lived. So the child lives and he makes it. And this is all because we had a video to show us what was going on. So if you have questions, please ask them. I'll be happy to answer them. But the most important thing here is if someone is in trouble, we're going to reach or throw. We're not going to go. We're not going to put ourselves in danger. And you saw how quickly this child went from reaching for help to it was done. I think it was less than a minute and 30 seconds. So when people say, well, I wasn't away from the kid for that long. Well, if it was more than 2 minutes, it was too long. Okay. Take care.